Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Teresa, and today I'm diving into something I know we all struggle with, our TBR piles. We all have that ever-growing stack of books we want to read, and sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming, right? Well, today I'm going to share how I manage my TBR pile to keep it fun and stress-free. If you missed my May TBR video from last week, I've shared the books I'm planning to tackle this month, so make sure you check that out after this video. Now, let's talk about how I keep my TBR pile from taking over my life and how I make reading fun rather than stressful. So the first thing I did to make my TBR less overwhelming is organizing it. I used to just throw every book I wanted to read on a shelf and it was chaos. Now I have somewhat of a system, and this works for me. It may not work for you. So I organize my TBR in a few ways to make it a little more manageable. I organize all my books by author. Since most of my collection is romance, grouping them this way makes it way easier to find what I want to read. I also use multiple TBR jars. I have one for spring and summer, autumn, so I have one for every season, plus a general jar and a series specific jar. It adds a fun element of surprise when I'm not sure what I want to read next. That said, I don't always use the jars. Definitely a mood reader too. If I pick up something from outside the jar, finish it, and then later pull the same book from the jar, I just set it aside as already read. Using both mood reading and TBR jars gives me flexibility while still keeping my TBR fun and organized. These jars have been a game changer for me. It helps me narrow down my options when I'm feeling indecisive, which is honestly a lifesaver when you have a TBR as long as I do. Sometimes I find it hard to choose between books because they all sound so good, but it's the beauty of having a jar. It's like a mini surprise every time I pick one out. Now, let's talk about setting goals. I know many people aim for far more achievable numbers of books each month, but for me, I always set a pretty ambitious goal. I aim for 30 books in a month. You heard that right. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I'm a fast reader and I can usually finish a book in a day. I found that setting the bigger the goal actually helps me stay motivated, and it keeps me engaged without feeling like I'm surpassing those goals way too easily. I enjoy the challenge of hitting that target, and it pushes me to read more. While 30 books might seem like a lot, I focus more on keeping the process enjoyable rather than stressing about hitting a goal. It works for me, and it's all about finding what feels right for your reading pace. Some months I may read more, other months less, and that's totally fine. Last month, I was really busy with work, and when I got home, I did not feel like reading at all. So I only read 16 books last month. This month, I am on target to hit 30 or more by the end of the month. I think the most important thing is that I don't pressure myself to finish every single book on my list. I've learned that it's okay to let go of books if they're just not clicking. There's no shame in putting them aside. Another big part of managing my TBR is prioritizing the books I really want to read. I try not to let the pressure of new releases or book recommendations take over my list. I focus on books I've been excited about for a while, or books that are relevant to what I'm in the mood for. For example, I might prioritize a fantasy book if I'm craving a new adventure, or a romance book if I need something lighter. When new releases pop up, I'll add them to my TBR, but I'm not stressed about reading them immediately. It's all about finding a balance between books I'm excited to read and making time for the older books that deserve my attention. Like, there's always that one book that's been sitting on your shelf for months, even years, that you keep meaning to get to. I make it a priority to read those too. If I'm in the mood for a specific genre, I let myself indulge. There's no reason to read a book just because it's been on your shelf forever if you're not feeling it at that moment. Trust me, the book will still be there when you're ready for it. Flexibility is key. I try to stay open to switching up my TBR. Sometimes I'll pick a book I wasn't planning on reading and I go with it. Life happens, mood changes, and sometimes you just want to read something different. I've learned that it's okay not to follow my TBR rigidly. It's all about enjoying what I read, not stressing about finishing a specific book. Sometimes after finishing one book, I just feel like diving into something else entirely. Like, I'll pick up a cozy mystery romance instead of historical fiction that I had planned. It's all perfectly fine. One way I make my TBR more fun and manageable is by joining bookish challenges or readathons. These help break out my TBR and make reading feel more exciting. For example, I'll participate in seasonal reading challenges or pick books based on themes. I've been thinking about trying a readathon at least once this summer. I'll be honest though, it's something I find hard to accomplish while living at home. With all the responsibilities that I have, whether it's chores or other commitments, it's tough to solely focus on reading for an extended period. But despite the challenges, I really want to prioritize that this summer. It'll be a fun way to push myself and clear out a chunk of my TBR. And I think it'll help make reading more of an experience than a task. I'm excited to give it a try, and even if it means I have to get a little creative with my time management. It's honestly so refreshing to change up my TBR every few months. It feels like I'm always reading something relevant to my mood or the time of year. I'll go through my shelf, look at the books that I've been meaning to read, and swap out titles that might not fit the season for books that do. This seasonal approach helps keep my TBR from feeling stale and keeps my reading exciting. Plus, it's a fun way to see which books I've been putting off and which ones I'm really excited to read in the coming months. It also gives me the flexibility to adjust my reading tastes as they evolve with the seasons. By updating my TBR this way, I feel like I can better focus on what I'm really in the mood for. So if I decide to participate in a summer reading challenge or readathon, I've already got a solid list of books ready to go. It's just a fun way to stay organized while still keeping things exciting. So that's how I manage my TBR pile and keep it from overwhelming me. By organizing it, setting realistic goals that challenge me, and allowing flexibility, I've been able to enjoy reading without the pressure. It's all about finding what works for you. I'd love to hear how you manage your TBR pile. Do you use a TBR jar, set reading goals, or do you have a different strategy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out my May TBR video from last week, I'll have a link in the description of this video so that you can go and watch it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any bookish content. Until next time, happy reading!